Hey guys, back for another video. We're going to be talking about the interview that Nene Leakes gave with Carlos King. Feel free to go and check out that video if you have not already done so. So let me just preface this video so that you guys can get an update and kind of understand everything that's going to come in on the back end. So I have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta since 2008, and I am definitely a Nene Leakes fan. She is the reason why I watch the show. I just cannot lie. Her spunkfulness and just her upfrontness and how she is. I mean, I just like her personality. I really do. So let's just start off. Leakes headlined the first 7 seasons as a main castmate from 2008 to 2015. She returned again seasons 10 through 12. There was speculation that Nene had been fired after that last season, but she only stated that negotiations had failed through, right? So Nene basically told us that negotiations had failed through. And then we later learned that Nene had went on a Tamron Hall show. Um, she looked very, very sad. And at some moment, she actually cried on that show. And then we saw reports that she was allegedly boycotting Bravo. I don't know that to be true. And then we know that she filed a lawsuit against Bravo. Where does that lawsuit stand right now? I'm not sure. I know sometimes mediation can take years. I don't know. I have not followed it, so I really can't comment on that. But I just wanted to give you guys some background information before we got into talk about that particular interview. So what's going to come up next is I'm going to take you guys back a few years. I think it was 3 years ago when Nene basically came out and told the world that she would not be moving forward with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it was due to contract negotiations. And if you can pay attention to her facial expressions, you can almost tell that it was one of those things where she was just telling us something just to smooth everything over, but you can tell inside that there was a lot of stuff going on just based on her facial expressions. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys that video up next, and then I will come back for commentary. So let me just let you guys know again, this video that I'm showing, this is not a new video. This video is about 3 years old. Keep in mind, Nene has not been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I believe, for 3 seasons. So that video is coming up next, and then we will move forward with our commentary. And then I do have another video to show you, which shows Nene in another light when she went on the Tamron Hall show. So we will be back for commentary. Guys, hold tight. That video is coming up next.
I feel you. I hear you. I have been on an extremely long, exhausting, tiring, emotional negotiation. There has been a lot of emotion flying from both sides. It has been hard, and I have made the very hard and difficult decision to not be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13. It wasn't an easy decision for me. It was hard. I started on the Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2008. We took off like a rocket. I mean, we took off. You could have never told me that I would start on this little show and it still be going strong 13, 14 years later. And it is. I'm just so happy that I can say that I was a part of a genre that opened up doors for Black ensemble reality shows to step up and be a part of what we all now love so much, reality TV. I want to thank everybody that has looked up to me over the years. Thank you so much for your love and your support. I want to thank Bravo TV. Thank you, Bravo, for all the memories, the laughs, the tears. Thank you to my production company, Truly Original. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you. You guys are like family to me. I love you and I thank you. Thank you to the cast for all of the memories. And thank you so much to my team who have stood with me during this time and supported me and pushed me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of you guys, all of the fans and the followers, everybody who has blooped and blammed. Shoot, I don't even know where to start. First I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to all of you guys who have been showing me a lot of love and support as of late. I feel you. I hear you. I have been on an extremely long, exhausting, tiring, emotional negotiation. There has been a lot of emotion flying from both sides. It has been hard, and I have made the very hard and difficult decision to not be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13. It wasn't an easy decision for me. It was hard. I started on the Real Housewives of Atlanta in 2008. We took off like a rocket. I mean, we took off. You could have never told me that I would start on this little show and it still be going strong 13, 14 years later. And it is. I'm just so happy that I can say that I was a part of a genre that opened up doors for Black ensemble reality shows to step up and be a part of what we all now love so much, reality TV. I want to thank everybody that has looked up to me over the years. Thank you so much for your love and your support. I want to thank Bravo TV. Thank you, Bravo, for all the memories, the laughs, the tears. Thank you to my production company, Truly Original. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you. You guys are like family to me. I love you and I thank you. Thank you to the cast for all of the memories. And thank you so much to my team who have stood with me during this time and supported me and pushed me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of you guys, all of the fans and the followers, everybody who has blooped and blammed and glamour and doors closed and the thirst is real and girl bye and shaded everybody with me. And it has just been amazing. Thank you guys so much. I also want to say that I think it was last week when a report came out that said that my team or someone from my team.
Okay, guys. So we are back for our commentary. So in that video, we basically saw Nene basically letting the fans know that she would not be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We can tell by her facial expressions that although, she was giving a shout out to Bravo, for giving her this opportunity, we can tell that something just was not right with her. But we didn't know what well, we know what it is now, but at the time, we just didn't know. So if you guys just paid attention to her facial features, she wasn't happy. She most definitely wasn't happy. And she was doing what all celebrities do. Generally, they'll come out with a story or a statement basically stating, what originally happened, or that they're not going to be doing whatever it is, just to, kind of calm the public and let the public know that, you won't be able to see them on that particular show. But again, if you guys paid attention, she was really hurt. We got to see later on what that hurt was about, because what I believe, and this is all alleged, that obviously they did not come to an agreement, but I believe there were other things that was stated between Bravo and Nene that she just didn't tell us. And we learned later that there were a lot of allegations, and then ultimately a lawsuit was filed against Bravo and Truly, NBC Universal, and we learned that after the fact. So again, I'm bringing you guys back up to what has happened up through now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip where right after Nene did that video, she actually appeared on the Tamron Hall show. And just as I'm stating to you guys now, she just couldn't hold it anymore. So she was a totally different person. And I know, the public had crucified her for this and said, at one moment you were saying this and then you were saying that. Listen, people, we are all human and we have all bared it and grinned. We have all went through situations that we knew were not good situations, but we went through those situations just to get through and get to the other side. But as Nene stated in her interview with Tamron Hall, she stated that she tried and it just didn't work. Like she really tried to get over what had happened to her at Bravo, but just could not seem to get through. And I'm going to play that video. It is coming up next.
You want to meet potentially with the folks over at Bravo behind the scenes, that you think that something can be worked out. These allegations are, again, very serious. Discrimination, bullying. What is there to be worked out? What do you want from them?
I can't tell you everything that I want from them, but I can tell you that I want fair treatment. I deserve fair treatment. I haven't done anything that no one else has done there, or haven't done even worse. So I don't deserve this treatment. I'm as confused as you are.
Do you want to be back on the show?
No, I do not.
Do you want to change the culture? I know that two of the franchise,
Absolutely.
New York and I believe Beverly Hills, now have, for the very first time in all of their years, African American castmates. That's a first
Yes.
there. Um,
Yes.
what do you think the conversation could bring that would result in change?
A seat at the table. I wouldn't want a another young woman to experience or go through the things that I've had to deal with over the years.
So much is played out in reality TV, and I hesitate to tell you the story, but here's the deal. I stopped watching the franchise after that fight with Portia in Kenya. I've told people and my friends know, I actually started
Yes.
crying because it was so hurtful to see what was supposed to be this fun. You know, we were watching you all live your lives, and then there's this
Yes.
fight between two people I
Yes.
actually like. Don't know them
Yes.
personally, but I like them on the show.
Yes.
I am trying to figure out how this got so ugly and how it has turned to this. Were you sounding the alarm all these years, Nene, concerns about some of the things? Because on camera, people say, look at Nene, she's a bully. You know, somebody tweet me or text me and say, be careful, she's mean. And I said, I don't even know what that means. But people will see one Nene on that show and then see this Nene and say, she just wants to get them back because she's off that show.
No, that's not it at all. I don't want to get them back.
Yeah.
I would never sit here on national television and tell you that something has happened to me and it did not happen
Yeah.
to me. I am a mother, I am a wife, and I am a woman.
Yeah.
And I would never get here and say that. I would never do that. Um, sure, people are going to say, you know, she's mean or she's this or she's that because they don't know who I am. They only know me from reality television. And those shows are built on drama.
Yeah.
So that is something you need to understand.
Yeah.
That although those shows are built on drama, that does not mean that we have to get some sort of treatment that you shouldn't get behind
Right,
the scenes.
absolutely. Just because of the show does not mean there are practices as regarding
Yes.
pay and treatment and toxic work environment that are
That's right.
separate from whatever happens on that TV
That's right.
show.
Exactly.
When you look at all of this, I mean, you talk about the drama that plays out on the show. Take me back to when you decided to go on social media at the beginning of the week, Nene, and fire off. And again, I don't want to get into these specific allegations with people and names, but the
Yes.
emotion from it. Why did you feel like I needed to go on YouTube and just, I think one article said Nene's rant. I don't like that word because those were real feelings and I could tell. But why did you need to vent in that way? Why not keep battling this behind the scenes?
What are you talking to me about? Are you
The
talking
YouTube
about?
videos, I mean, the postings over the past few days, the emotional postings
Well,
over the past few days. Why not work this out behind the scenes?
I released a video and I thought was a very gracious video saying thank you to everyone at Bravo. Thank you to my castmates. Thank you to my production company. And I truly meant it from the bottom of my heart. When I did that video, I thought after I did that, that I was going to go off and heal. And I
Right.
even said, I want to heal. It was a very hard decision. It wasn't easy. We were going back and forth behind the scene, but I thank these people and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had. After that, I thought that we all had agreed. I'd spoken to a couple of them personally behind the scene. The day after I released that video, I spoke to the head of my production company. We talked, we had a nice conversation. I thought I was going away to heal and we were
Right,
going to
which is
figure
what
out
you
all
told
these things
us,
that happened.
which I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but that's what your team told us, that she was ready to heal. She wanted to come on and celebrate the successes that you had and then talk about your
Yeah.
future. And then it went off the rails.
Okay, guys, so let's just jump right in. So, you guys were able to see that video with Nene basically saying, you know, everything is fine. And then months later, the clip that I played when she went on the Tamron Hall show, that's when everything had just pretty much fell apart. So, you guys, I need you to understand and I need you to look at Nene Leakes as a person. A lot of times people judge others, but they judge others than they would judge themselves. I'm sure, let's take it back to our regular normal lives. I'm sure you have worked at a job before where you were treated a certain kind of way, but you didn't say much because of what you were getting paid. Guess what? I would be the first person to raise my hand. I would be the first person to raise my hand. Have I ever been in a situation where I feel like I was discriminated against, but I got paid a lot? Absolutely. Let me make sure you understand something. Let me make sure we understand each other. The fact that Nene Leakes received a pretty hefty salary, and then the fact or people trying to dispel the fact that she was not discriminated against, that those two don't work together. It just doesn't work together. In the Tamron Hall interview, you can see that she was at her wits' end. And I believe allegedly at that point, she had started to remember, things that had occurred and had started to put two and two together. Because if you guys look at the previous housewives pictures for the season, Nene was where she was always in the middle. If you look at season 11, which was getting close to her last season, she is where at the end. So I believe that this was always in the making to boot her out. And I'm going to tell you why. Nene is like a founder of the show. Nene was there before Andy was there. So Andy has came on the scene and he has basically trademark stuff. He's writing books, he's doing all kinds of things. Andy is getting very rich off of the backs of women. He's getting very rich off the backs of women. But let's be honest, Nene was the main headliner in Real Housewives of Atlanta. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, she had a nasty attitude." Okay, let's be clear. That is a reality show. It's centered around drama, just like she said. Just like she said. I know people that know Nene and they don't say that. So you have to understand when you're in those settings and you're dealing with those type of women, it's going to bring out a whole different type of character. So let's go over the jobs that Nene had before she was allegedly blacklisted. She was on Glee, Dancing with the Stars, Celebrity Apprentice. She had a wedding special. So she has titles as actor, film producer, TV personality, writer, television producer, fashion designer. Remember, she owned Swag Boutique. She was on the Shopping Network, Ladies of Success. So she has an impeccable resume, and I have not even given everything that she has done, just a few. So let's be clear of what really happened here to Miss Nene Leakes. When she went on the Carlos show, she indicated that she was the one that built the house. And I frankly have to agree with her. I have to agree with her. There's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of talk about what really happened to Nene Leakes. And you know what, guys? I'm going to address that in another interview because there's another Bravo star that was actually pushed out just like Nene Leakes. If you guys are familiar with Mariah Hook, but I don't want to get out off on a tangent. Let's focus on Nene Leakes. So in that interview with Carlos King, she said that that was the house that she built. And guess what? She's not the only one that thought that she built that house. Because guess what? Guess who thought the same thing? Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen of Real Housewives of Atlanta, who is just taking over and just is basically making a lot of money off the backs of women. He said that it was the house that Nene built. So, in his position at Bravo, why would he think that Real Housewives of Atlanta was the house that Nene built if, in fact, she did not build it? She didn't build it. Yeah, build it. Okay, guys, let's we got to talk about the personalities between Black women. And that's probably a whole nother video. What is with the personalities of Black women? We saw Nene basically cry out. We didn't see very many of her classmates run to her side. Nene talked about in her interview that Portia was on the chopping block, and Carlos confirmed it. And she pleaded with the execs and everybody at Bravo to keep Portia. But guess what happened to her? None of those people, none of those women came out to basically stand by her. And you know what, guys? That's a problem. That's a problem for us in the Black community, that we are so mentally broken that a lot of us will do anything for money. And when I say anything for money, when you hear your castmate crying out basically about racism, especially things that you have witnessed on your own, but you don't stand by them, what it means is you will stand, but then the next time you'll be standing alone. Do I believe that she was discriminated against? I believe that there definitely was differential treatment. I definitely believe that. Nene, in her complaint, she talked about the things that Kim Zolciak did, and we saw that with our own eyes. Nene didn't tell us that Kim was a racist. The world had already been saying that. So the fact that other Black women did not stand up for her is a problem. And it's just not a problem with this class, with this cast. It's a problem in the Black community, because that's what a lot of Black people do. At work, when you have a coworker that's going through an issue, do you stand up for them, or do you say, I need to keep my job? I believe Nene was treated unfairly, and I can tell you based on the responses of her own castmates. We cannot villainize Nene when we watch Kenya Moore every Sunday, and her entire purpose on the show is to be a villain. I mean, calling Marlo the H word, and Kenya has act like a spoiled child. But we want to villainize Nene, the creator of the show. She created that show. She has every right to be in her feelings. But I'm so glad Nene has healed, and I'm so glad that she's in a great place and she is able to express her emotions in a very good way. I'm going to leave you with today. Do you think Nene was villainized? But before you answer that question, I want you to go back in your memory. When Nene came out, we saw, let me go back. When Nene came out about the racism issue with Bravo and her lawsuit, we saw a lot of the cast attack her. We saw Candy go on all sorts of interviews basically stating, well, I don't think that it's racist, and I never saw it. And if she was being discriminated against, or if it was so much racism, why was she going around saying that she was the top paid cast? I want you guys to think that is usually the way they operate. Whenever you are ready to go against those people, like Nene said, the machine, they will go get some of your own to come against you. Why would Candy go on any type of press anything and even mention that. What she should have stated is, I can't even comment on it because I don't know, or just don't say anything. But to say another Black woman had not been discriminated against, that's a problem. That is a problem. Cynthia, supposedly her best friend, where Nene actually stated in this interview with Carlos that Cynthia was also trying to get her fired. Cynthia, how could you ever have been her friend, but you're going out giving interviews basically stating that you don't think that she was ever discriminated against? There's more. So I'm going to unpack this even more because there's a lot of information I feel as though I'm missing, but I just wanted to give you guys something to have, and I will be back because we got to dig deeper. Nene was villainized by the network. She states that she was discriminated against. And then when she brought it to the world, the attention of the world, her own castmates were used to villainize her as a bad person. We see that all over whenever minority Black person speaks out. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know if you want to see more, hear more, because I need to dissect this a little bit deeper. So I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.